Welcome back. In this video, we'll talk about some of the pedagogy rules has been applied from the literatures. What we did, we looked at last 15 years, whatever the system has been published in academic research. If it is in commercial, if it is not published in peer-reviewed articles, we did not consider that. We looked at a lot of, intelligent tutoring systems, PAL, adaptive tutoring systems are published in the last 15 years or last 20 years. We looked at all the systems and we put all the PED module in the systems. We kind of extracted those data. It is around 80 different ideas we listed down. We are not listing all of them here. We're just giving examples here. We put them into LLMs and we created fantastic clustering. We come up with the 4 types of clustering is possible. One is adaptive guided learning. It's trying to guide you in the learning. Adaptive mastery. Cognitive apprenticeship is the one, and adaptive guided instructions. We'll go one by one all those 4 models. We give a couple of example system names. If you are interested, please check these systems names in the literature, and you will find more about the paper all available. That's recommended, but we'll go through one by one. In adaptive guided learning, there are many systems, but we are listing only 3 systems here. I will just go through these systems, what they do, then we call what is adaptive guided learning. In Crystal Island, it's a game-based system. It's of North Korea now. This is created by Professor James Lester's group, and in Crystal Island, it's a middle school student. Consider you are like 7th, 8th class student. You are on an island where suddenly the disease is spreading and virus is spreading. This came well before COVID time. So a student goes into the island and suddenly some virus is spreading. So you are a middle school life student, your avatar is there. You could go to different locations and everything. It's completely game-based system. And you can explore, experiment and reason to solve, find out why the disease outbreak is happening, what is the cause of it. Okay. The whole system is narrative centered. For example, you will be talking to an agent is asking a set of questions. You will be asking a set of questions. Can you ask like why it is happening, where is the system, collect the samples and check the under its microscope everything. Then the scaffolding happens through a guidance integrated in the game story. The story itself says you do this, you go that kind of task, and it's a completely science explorable system. It's a Crystal Island. Check the system, it's very interesting. In the system, it is completely a student driven. A student decides the paths, but kind of scaffolding is always coming in terms of you are working on it, there's agent, would you like to go check it if the student is not checking something, that kind of feedback. So it's based on narration. The second system is Andes. It's a physics tutor, and it's been there are many systems has been created from the Andes samples. Then it is you have to solve some physics problems. Student has to move one things from one place to other place, have to apply equations, pulleys, whatever you can think of. So it is a problem solving approach. It's kind of providing the feedback within the game to say that, hey, would you move that? Would you, would you push this from one side to other side? What are the things needed? That's also there. The other system, it's Animal Watch. It is not a physics. It's completely mathematics now again. So it is to teach mathematics, fractions, pre-algebra, and in environmental science. In the sense, there's a forest. There's a fast zookeeper house has caught fire, and you need to go to reach the place first. Then you need to do some of problems to rescue the animals there, put off the fire. All those things come into picture. It's kind of a game narration, and narratives kind of tells you how to do it, and it provides a feedback, and it tries to engage students all the time. That's the plan. In all 3 systems, they are guiding with the scaffolds, with the narration or something, so that they're guiding to learn. Instead of providing feedback to the skill, they are providing the feedback to process, the learning process, not the step by step into. So it's called adaptive guided learning. I hope this is clear. Okay. The next is adaptive guided instructions. There are two systems written here, Sim Student and Pedagogy. There are a few more, but we will talk about these two systems. In Sim Students, it's learn by teaching approach. A student has been teaching by learning by teaching an agent. It's a teachable agent model. There's some person on a, we are teaching them by using creating concept maps or creating some programming or something like that. Then the agent is goes and test their understanding using answering set of Q&A. So it's basically the agent that tracks the learning process and misconception based on students' instruction. It provides a feedback. So here the instruction is guided to the learner based on the learn by teaching approach. This is a different kind of pedagogical approach. And then with this pedagogical approach, instead of giving you the process or the answer, we let the student to create or teach the agent and let the agent to attempt a set of questions. Based on the questions and answers, the feedback is given to them, and the student kind of detaches saying that, oh, this agent is taking mistakes, agent is learning. That way the student is learning better. This other system called Betty's Brain, I think the detailed demo has been will be shown to you. So in a Betty's Brain, we are teaching Betty. Betty's Brain is initially empty. Teaching Betty by creating a nice concept map, causal reasoning map. It's like each concept has been reasoned with the causal relationship. With this concept map, we are testing set of questions. If the causal map is correct, it is correct. If not, we need to get a more kind of improve on it. That's a agent. The idea here is that the guided instruction, the agent is guiding you to teach the other agent. For example, in both systems, there's another teacher is there which kind of tells you how you should teach the agent in the system. So it's a three thing involved. I have to teach one particular agent. In Betty's Brain, this Betty is the agent. Davis is the teacher. Teacher helps you to how to teach. By the way, it is teaching you how to misconception is following. So it is adaptive guided instruction. It's like it's guiding you to instruct. Okay, this is the second set of systems. The third set of systems classified are ZOSMAT, Alex, Assessment, Wang Outpost, A+6, Duolingo, and ActiveMath. I think we'll look at two of these systems. There are many more systems in the mastery learning. The whole system's approach in the pedagogical logic is to make sure the student master the skill. With against those two systems, where Crystal Island it's trying to teach you the learning processes. Here it is about mastering the skill. It aims to foster fluency in a particular skill. For example, in Wang Outpost, a student has to learn mathematics topics for SAT preparation. Similarly, in A+6, the algebra learning to a guided discovery step-by-step problem. Although the approach will be inquiry-based, approach will be narrative-based, but the pedagogy is to master a particular skill. So what we are trying to see is that the pedagogical module is to master something. The pedagogical module aims to give the process level knowledge, or the pedagogical module to how to instruct. It's also possible. This is all the two systems we saw in adaptive mastery learning. The last set is cognitive apprenticeship. I think we have seen most of the tutors here already: Auto Tutor, SQL Tutor, Calc Tutor, Lisp Tutor, and Java Tutor. Since we saw the Auto Tutor, SQL, and Calc, we'll go to Lisp and Java Tutor. Lisp is one of the oldest programming language, so it's the early systems. Long back it created. It's not now. It's introductory programming language. It provides a context-sensitive feedback and hierarchical links to facilitate learning. And it's based on the students' misconception within the topic. It provides a feedback, and the others are targeted for the particular remediation. Similarly, in Java Tutor in the programming, it's content practices. It gradually reveals the hints to help students to learn from the mistakes, and it adapts based on the student progress. In all these tutors, Auto Tutor, SQL Tutor, Calc Tutor, the problem is broken down to multiple steps based on students' mastery, all the cognition, where they are struggling, the hints are provided. The idea is that all of them follow certain cognitive theoretical approach. For example, repeats of ins fading, scaffolding. So it's all grouped under one particular thing. All this tutor follows set of theoretical constraints. Auto Tutor follows the self-regulated learning. SQL tutor follows the constraint-based learning driven by constructors and most approach. Cognitive tutors talks about behaviorism, give feedback, give more hints and everything. Lisp tutor is actually based on the context, and Java tutor. So these are based on some cognitive theory, then it's called cognitive apprenticeship. So we kind of considered in this week what is pedagogy module, how you create a pedagogy module. Since there's not a single structure, single or multiple standards exist to create a pedagogic can be your own idea. So we classified existing literature into four types, the guided inquiry, so guided learning, guided mastery, and guided instruction, and cognitive apprenticeship. So basically we did four different types of classification. This is what we classified. It might not be correct. What we saw in this whole week is that we kind of looked at how this pedagogy module can be created. When you say pedagogical module, there's not a single or the two framework to follow it. Pedagogical module is your own way of teaching. It cannot be single structure. So what we tried to do, we borrowed from the computer science like association rule mining, content based filtering and collaborative filtering. Then we kind of borrowed from the open learner models in the structures. We also looked at a generic possible way of people classifying pedagogy into based on content or assessment based, you want to based on navigation paths. Then we looked at the existing literature where different type of adaptation is possible. So we kind of gave all those ideas in this week. The purpose is that with all this knowledge, you would be able to create your own pedagogical logic and test it in your system. That's the idea. Hope you understood what is pedagogy and you will be coming with your own pedagogy for your system. Thank you.